You're being invited to let that hustle go and just relax and enjoy the fruit of your own efforts and let other people take care of you and let you take care of you. Because oftentimes when we're hustling, we're not taking care of ourselves. So hello and welcome to Intuitive Connection. I'm your host, intuitive counselor and spiritual guide, Victoria Shaw. And today we have a treat. We have intuitive reading with Meeka Brown. Hi, Meeka.
Hello, hello.
And so Meeka is someone I got to know in San Diego, and I was a guest on her YouTube channel podcast a while ago. And Meeka, for those of you who are following it, was also on season 1 of Living in Alignment and also season 2, which I never know when these are going to go live, but I'm pretty sure it's live by the time this one comes. So Living in Alignment, you can find links to that on my website, victoriashawintuitive.com, or on Soul Search TV app, which you can find everywhere, and it streams to Amazon, Roku, and Apple. But anyway, so check all that out. But I was really excited to have Meeka back because, I'm like invested in her journey. And so Meeka, welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And this is such the perfect time to be getting a reading with this new direction that I'm moving in and the expansion. So I'm super stoked and I'm so happy to be connecting with you again.
Beautiful. So when I first tuned into your energy, and I'm going to ask you what you want guidance on in a minute, but when I first tuned into your energy, my dear friend, you have a lot of motherly energy around you. And I feel that up until now, a lot of that has been outwardly directed. Okay. You're a caregiver. And what your guides are saying in this chapter of your life, it is essential that you learn to be a care receiver. And very most importantly, that you are the beneficiary of your own caregiving efforts. Does that make sense? They're very clear.
Yeah, absolutely perfect and right on point with everything that I myself have been receiving from them as well.
Right. Well, because Meeka's also an intuitive and she's a
Yeah.
tarot reader. So I want to put that out there. Got it. And so that's what they're saying. It's really your time. And I remember like in the retreat, I gave the example that the guides often give me of like, sometimes, you spritz the perfume and walk into it. Right. So you kind of like, but what they're saying with you right now is sort of like you've given off so much motherly love. And it's all around you. And it's really just about you feeling into it, flowing into it, allowing it in. And, it may be you being nurturing to yourself, or it may be you accepting more willingly nurturing from others. But this is really the time for you to marinate and bask in all of that loving, unconditionally loving motherly energy that you put out in the world. You really need to be like breathing that in. It's like all around you right now. And it's important for you to fall back in it and receive it. They're saying, you have, been responsible even since you were a little child. You were always like, you always had to make things happen for yourself. and it's exhausting. Like you're kind of, however many years you've been on the planet, like it's enough. Like you're sick of having to like work so hard to make things hustle is the word that they say, hustle. And then what they're saying is now it's really, you're being invited to let that hustle go and just relax and enjoy the fruit of your own efforts and let other people take care of you and let you take care of you. Because oftentimes when we're hustling, we're not taking care of ourselves. Okay, I'm going to stop because clearly that landed.
No, it's super, super on point with where I'm at. And I'm working to learn to receive more. And I'm asking for support so that I can learn to do that.
Yeah. And so the support that you need, they say, first and foremost, this is really time to, this is how they say it, personify your guides. I want you to give your guides names, personalities, characters, receive them all, and then call on them like when you need a friend. Okay? Like it doesn't matter if you get it right or wrong because they're working with you and you're probably getting it right anyway. But like, it's almost like God, it's like almost like, your sitcom family. Like, you know what I mean? Because they have that flavor,
Yeah.
and like if that's what they're showing, like see us like a sitcom, and you have one of your guides actually is Julius Caesar. So I have no idea where that energy came from, but in a good way, or Caesar, like he has that kind of vibe. And so he's like a pretty fierce protector, I would think. But the rest of them look like ordinary guys and gals, but they really look to me like a 80s or 90s style sitcom, like more 90s, I think. But just like a ragtag group of, and each one has a task to support you. One's to make you laugh, one's to take the load and make sure things get done for you. The other is to just like lie down beside you at night when it's cold. Like, and so, identify the needs that you have in your life, allow spirit to show up for you, and then also accept and celebrate all manner of human kindness. Right. So wherever it flows, if it's like an extra tip, or if it's someone buying you a coffee at Starbucks, or someone just being, like whatever, or someone saying, come be on my podcast for a reading, like whatever it is, like bring it in, celebrate it, and then remind yourself, because you don't totally know this, I deserve this. Okay. It's really important for you to remember everything flowing your way. You deserve it and more. I deserve this and more. Okay. Because again, all of this energy has been put out, and now it's your time to drink it in. Okay. We can't be unidirectional beings. We can't be givers without also being receivers. Okay. When that becomes out of balance, it's not good for anyone.
It's exhausting.
Yeah. And it's how you believed that life had to flow, that you had to work 10 times harder to get, if I work 110%, I'll get 3% back. And I can make 3% work. But
yeah.
that's that's not sustainable math. Okay. And so again, they say it's out there, it's all around you. It's just about starting to receive it, to take it in. So recruiting your spirit family, first of all, because they're gonna, first of all, help you feel comforted. They'll help open the doors for you to receive all the things that you want to. They're safe for you. And so like, even if you have like, a spirit guy in your bed, right? But one that feels safe and like nurturing, and like he can be a place stopper. And at some point you might get a human one too, but right now you just trust spirit more. That's all I'm going to say. But and then it's also about you feeding you. So little things that you can do every single day to make an investment in yourself. Okay. And they don't have to be big things like buy the gum. Be like, I can afford the gum today. Like, this is my indulgence for me. So you don't have to buy yourself diamond rings yet. But you know what I mean? Like it's around that, because I still think there's still something in you that you defer to necessity, you defer to others, and so you're not feeding yourself enough. Saying like, no, I really want this. I can do this. I can splurge on this. I can make this for myself. Like, they say it's enough coupon cutting and more about looking at what you have loosely and starting to use your resources effectively and towards the end of what feeds my soul. Okay. So if you have $1 or you have $20, right? It's not about how much, but how you use it, how you spend it. So if you have $1, it's like you want 80 cents to go towards what you feel good, what makes you feel good, and 20 cents for the emergency fund or the other things or the other people or the hole in the roof or whatever. Okay. Because your accounting has been, I'll give a penny to me and make sure I've plugged every hole with the other, let's see, if you keep $1 with the other 9, right? Yeah. And that's keeping you in this fight, flight, or free. It's impeding your flow with abundance. It's about feeding yourself first. Okay. And you trust, like, again, it's not extravagance even. It's just, I can buy the French fries, right? They're going to taste really good. I can afford the French fries. What are French fries nowadays? Please tell me they're not $10, but
probably close to it though.
Well, whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you can flow with that. Does that make sense? Like just,
Yeah, it's so
and
perfect and
it's
right
about
on point.
trust. Yeah, it's about
Yeah,
trust. And then letting
for
people
sure.
do for you, celebrating everything and celebrating the ways in which you're doing for yourself. Is it saying no when you mean yes? Is it taking a bath? Is it lying down and watching a bad sitcom because that's what you want to do, even though you want to do other things? Is it like getting a foot massage? Is it giving yourself a foot massage? Is it a warm, fuzzy blanket? Is it a going out for a walk because you feel like, is it not going out for a walk because you don't feel like it? But really listening to yourself, celebrating that. And the mantra should be, I deserve this. Good things are coming my way and I deserve them. I deserve all the good things coming my way. Okay. Because you are so deserving of everything that your heart desires.
Thank you. And I definitely feel that intently. And it's so right on point with exactly where I am. And again, the things that I've just been receiving myself. And I'm working consciously to open up to that because I do have, and what my guides call it is survival mode. And so since I've been
Yeah.
working to actively get out of survival mode or that fight or flight energy that I've been in my entire life,
Your entire life.
it's been rocky.
Yeah.
Been
And so,
some highs and some lows for sure.
yeah. And so little things when we're shifting energy, especially a strong energy pattern like that, what we're looking at is for the exceptions, wherever we can find them. Right? Because you can't fight against the current. I look out at the Pacific Ocean every day and you know what I mean? Those waves, they're strong. So
Mm-hmm.
you can't push your surfboard into the surf and expect, I mean, they have their waves, but you know what I mean? Like their waves are not standing there and like pushing against the surf because they're just going to
Right.
go topple over, right? Um, but you don't have to. You look for the inroads, you find the way, you ride the waves, you know what I mean? And that's what they're kind of saying that you need to do. And for you, that's looking for the opportunities and openings, as opposed to saying, I got to fight this flow. No, you don't. That's just all you've ever known. But you look for the little exceptions, the little inroads, the little difference, the moments to celebrate yourself. And of course, if you topple and you give yourself a big hug and you sit with yourself and you don't say, because you know we talked about this, I remember at the retreat that you season 2 of Living in Alignment, you don't beat yourself up when you fall, or if you catch yourself beating yourself up, which you're beating yourself up because it's motivating, it's just, you know, it's something you learned. You don't beat yourself up for beating yourself up. At some point in there you come in and you say, it's okay, human, I love you, this is part of life. Like
Yeah.
I watch surfers and you know what they do a lot?
But
They fall. Like
yeah.
didn't mean to scream at you listeners. Um, but they fall. Like that's the point of surfing, right? You get up, you ride the waves and you fall. It's part of the thing. And most of the time they fall elegantly, but I'm sure sometimes they don't. And that's okay.
Right. Yeah.
Right. It's
Especially at
part of
first.
life. Yeah. And it's part of life. But even even the seasoned surfers, because here's the thing, you're always going to want to surf a bigger wave. You're going to get bored with the same old, right? And so if you are in that kind of growth mindset, which you are, and like in a life path like that, where you're looking to like burst out of the ordinary, burst out of the old patterns, keep rewriting the script, keep growing. And that's what a growth path is. And you are definitely on one. Not every human being is. Some human beings just want to work out the little paddock that they found themselves in, and that's enough. But that's not who you are. You've been out of that thing already for most of your lifetime. When we're on a growth path, and this is true, they say of all humans to some degree, just some of us are just faster, you know, so we metabolize life at a higher rate. You're always going to want to expand. And
Yeah.
so because of that, you know, you may feel like a beginning surfer, but because you've graduated to bigger waves. So they want you to know that too, because it's really important. I'm so glad you brought that up, is that sometimes we don't see our progress because we think the thing is happening again because we're falling. God, I'm falling so much again. I must have regressed. But no, you're surfing bigger waves.
That's
Okay.
so
So
perfect.
they really want you to understand that.
Yeah, that's so perfect. And thank you
Yeah.
for that confirmation. Because sometimes you, especially
Yeah.
being intuitive and doing this and that, that
Yeah.
feedback loop can make you spiral.
Yeah. And
For sure.
you are not capable. They want you to know you're not capable of going backwards. It's not how you're wired. So just remember, and it's true to some degree of everyone, but like you're always moving forward. But they're saying like how planets in astrology retrograde, they don't really retrograde, right? It's like they don't move backwards. It's just with but you know, but like so a lot of human beings do that, but you're pretty much like a comet, they say. So just, so they don't even want you to worry about it. It may appear like you're going backwards sometimes, but you're on a very strong forward path. It would be impossible for you to crawl back into old patterns or old ways of doing things. That's not what's going on. What you're doing instead is exploring some of those old things from a new lens. So it's like, how do I say it? Okay, the guides say sometimes what happens is human beings would like to just leave everything behind. We have this idea we're just going to leave everything behind and begin anew. And they say, look, you do that every moment. You actually begin anew. But in the human, because each moment now is something different. But in the human journey, we do often prefer to have that structure, that personality, that continuous perspective. So that Meeka Brown that came out of her mom's, private parts, there's some continuity. Okay. Now you are as far from the person you were as a child in a lot of ways that you are now, but there are actually a lot of ways and a lot of parts of that inner child that you want to bring forward. Right. And so what they're saying is there's a continuity to experience, but just don't confuse that with crawling back into the womb. Okay. That door is closed. You know what I mean? Like that's a one-way ticket. So you're not regressing. They say you're very committed to moving forward. You're always moving forward. You're on a very significant growth path, but we're always integrating and we're always repatterning and rejiggering. And so sometimes, parts of the past that are helpful for us are coming forward, or parts of the past that we didn't explore from this angle are coming forward. So it's not the same thing over and over again. It's always new. You're just hitting old things sometimes from a new perspective because that's part of the integration process as you grow and develop moving forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I actually applaud myself when they do show up and I'm responding differently. So I mean, these little steps like you take, I am consciously making those efforts and I am seeing the progress as a result of it, for sure.
And the last thing that they want to say, and this might be a little AP, but I think you're ready for it. It's very subtle. So you're not doing this to like the nth degree, but it's just a little tweak if it feels resonant for you. We often think that the human journey is about perfecting ourselves, right? Maybe we're moving closer to God or becoming more realized. And to some degree, you are, they say, but not in the way that you think. And so what they want is to suggest a different thing. In each moment, your task is to continue to realign with your higher self, soul, and the light. And they say that realignment process is going to look different depending on where you're at, right? And that may seem like progress from the human perspective, right? That might seem like that expanded awareness. You might think of it as like a hierarchical journey. They're like, it's really not, but we understand that you can't, from your human perspective or lens, see it any other way. But what they want to, I'm going to use my words because your words aren't making sense, guys. I think that's funny. What they want you to understand, and it's a very subtle point, is it's not about fixing or perfecting or tweaking, because you are exactly where you're supposed to be now. And you are miraculous. Like when you even think about where you came from and where you are now, it's ginormous. Like look at your other family members. Like, I mean, you are a rock star, but there's still this little piece of you that, this little child part that feels like I'm not enough. I'm not enough. Like I'm not understood. I'm never going to get there. Other people outside of your family, they got there. I can't get there. And so when that part comes up, what I want you to do, don't try to talk her out of it. She's not ready for that. Right? But don't believe her so hard. Just understand that that's a well-earned perspective that would make perfect sense for a child at the ages that you experience that to have that perspective. Sit with her, love her, but don't believe her, right? Don't just allow her to come to her own understanding that it's not true through your adult lens.
I
Right. So
love that.
you, yeah. So live your life. But when that comes up, just let her be there. Understand, of course, you see things that way, sweetie. And, I know it's not 100% act, but it's about being tender with that part that's hurting, but not making it your raison d'etre, not making it your
Yeah.
reason to live. Do you know what I mean? It's not your story. It's just a piece of what made you who you are today from the way that you interpreted the world, which made perfect sense then, but is less helpful now.
Yeah.
Right. But
Absolutely.
she needs your love. She needs your love, not your fixing, because there's a little shaming when we go back and say, this is holding me back. I need to release it, fix it. No, you need to love it. That's all. Just love it, honor it, allow it, but don't let it run the show anymore. And it's
Yeah.
not.
The perspective tick, that's exactly the truth too. It's like you think there's something that you need to jump in and start fixing because you feel a certain way. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's so right on point.
Yeah. Guides say new mantra, nothing, nowhere to go, nothing to do. Right. With that.
Yeah.
And you sit with that, nowhere to go, nothing to do. And then you'll wait until those moments when you're like, okay, now I can go. Right. Because you don't want to move anywhere from that energy. Right. But you do want to honor that energy and sit with that energy and soothe that energy. And remember, too, as you sit there, you'll see all the other light coming in. You'll see, like, oh, this is like, if you were looking down from your soul, this is just like a little, like I have a floater, you know what I mean? Every once in a while, it's just like in my eye, there's like a little, you know what I mean? But it's like a little tiny thing, I see
Yeah.
just fine. Right. It's just a little blip. Right. And when you see it that way, then it's going to cease to you're not even going to notice it.
Yeah. That's so perfect and so right on point. Seriously, like yeah.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people benefit from this one. Before we wind down, your guides are telling me there's some concrete questions you have either about your life, about your work, about steps moving forward. Do you want to ask those? Are you comfortable asking those in a public place? Do you know what those are?
Yeah, I mean, I know that like the main focus that right now, even though there has been this major ebb and flow, it's really clearly put me on a course, and I'm working out some things now, and I'm doing it from that perspective of, okay, guys, I'm willing to take the right steps. I'm willing to slow down. I also did receive an energy this morning of there's opportunities out there, but just this is a no rush. This is a receive the right steps and move. So yeah,
Yeah.
just more information about my career and everything, because I really have been putting out a lot, and I received recently I need to stop that and restructure. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now, and just slowly taking the steps. So any information you can give
Yeah.
me on
Yeah.
my
I can
career and my finances would be great.
I can give you a lot with that. Number one, finances, you just threw a wrench in there, but that's okay. Okay, but
That's one of the same kind of.
I'm gonna hit it. Okay, for
Okay.
finances, what's happening is it's like you've applied to, I know this isn't what you do, but this is an analogy, right? You've gone on LinkedIn, you've applied to 444 jobs, and now you're waiting to see who calls you back. And in that process of waiting to see who calls you back, all the insecurity comes up. No one's going to call me back. I've been waiting too long. Nothing's happening yet. I must be doing something wrong. And this is what they want you to stop. It's not helpful. There's often a gap between creating and putting out there and receiving, and you have to honor the gap. You have to honor the gap. If money needs to come, we can talk about that, but you have to stop playing I'm doing something wrong. They say no rejiggering is required, but you should keep doing what's fun for you. Your initial success was because you were excited about something and something was fun for you. When you went to feel like it has to be something or be a certain way, that's where you got stuck, because that's when the insecurity came up and said, I'm putting it out and what's supposed to be happening isn't happening, or what I need to have happening isn't happening. And so you actually, because you couldn't sit in the pause, you've created some interference. So they want you just to go back to where you were before. Just do what's fun. Don't worry about what has to happen. There's no bar. Just enjoy yourself. I do feel that where you are now, you can start to do some more live interactive readings for people. even low cost, even if it's like a psychic hotline, like whatever you want, but you are being called, I think, to do more one-to-one sort of things. You'll develop your skills, you'll get a lot, and you'll get some money in the pocket, and you'll get some reassurance that you're good at this and that there's some monetary abundance that can flow here. So even if it seems like small potatoes, I would really invite you to look for opportunities to be like a professional reader right now to a limited degree. And I see somewhere where you can do a fair amount of volume because you're going to learn a lot from just doing a lot of these sessions, even if the individual exchange is not like, it's going to be a great learning tool for you. And so that's the one thing that I could see that you maybe aren't doing now that you should be doing more of. And just get, if you're working for someone else, if it's a psychic hotline, if you're showing up at like a group place where you are, like, I don't know how you're, but just a lot of volume in readings is what I see will really help your energy flow right now. Give everything else a rest unless it's fun for you, but don't try to scheme or plan or figure out. You didn't get your initial following by figuring it out. You just did something fun and people responded. So we need to go back to that, because when you're in that gap, the story of I'm not good enough is coming up. And from that story, it's just hard for you to attract. Okay. And I think doing a lot of readings too will help get your confidence back up and your aligning. And there's something that you need to learn there that's going to help you later. That's number one.
I love that.
Number two, this is a huge time for connections for you. So connections with people. So make sure that you're connecting, not going like this and hiding in a cave. A lot of connections. So if that's being on podcasts, if that's like talking to people that do what you do, if that's getting out there and like whatever feels resonant, don't do anything that doesn't feel resonant, but you're in the process of building a soul tribe right now. They're going to be very important for you in everything that you do. And so like, just don't hesitate to connect professionally with as many people as you can that feels resonant. You're building your community. It can be virtual too, but really like cherish those connections. And of course, any connections that aren't resonant, get rid of. But like, it feels like it's more of a building phase than a editing phase right now with respect to your connections. It's like you cleared the decks, you know what you want. And now like, who do I want to play with? And I think, what's going to happen for you is you're going to end up connecting with someone who's going to take you to the next level. Okay.
Man, that's exactly what I got. So that's so perfect. Thank you for that confirmation. I've literally got the words you were saying almost exactly.
Okay. Beautiful. So then you're right on track. And again, this is for you, but for everyone else, like when we're in the pause between what we desire, right? What we want to create and that thing coming into, fruition, that's a hard place for humans to be, right? And on the spirit realm, it's my understanding it's instantaneous. In the human realm, not so much. And so we have the ping and we put it out there, and then we have to get our energy in a space where we can align and receive so that it can come into fruition. And sometimes that can be instantaneous. I've had things that were so fast, like crazy fast. And then I've had things that, I remember my house in Connecticut. When I finally got that house in Connecticut, it was, like 8 years or 5 years. It was like a long wait for that dream to come to fruition. But, I trust that they always come. They always come in this body or another one. But for me, mostly in this body, it'll come. It's just that, that impatience, like sometimes when we get into the gap, our minds get in our way. Okay. And so it's even okay to be impatient, sit with that part of yourself, but just remind that, sweet human self, all things in the right time. And, when I'm in the pause right now and getting into that pause, I have to soothe myself. I have to listen. I have to follow. And what I don't want to do is get into negative self-talk that says I'm doing something wrong and I have to fix it. Because oftentimes that's not the case. And when there's a course correction that's being called for, which is there's the only course correction for you is that self-talk and how you sit with it.
Absolutely.
And feeling into your own abundance so that it can flow from wherever it wants to flow, and recognizing that you can have a dream and that dream will probably pay off. But if it doesn't, do whatever else you usually do to make money. It'll be fine. Like the divine is the flow. That's for you. But for people out there to recognize if there's a course correction to be made, it's usually not to be made by figuring it out here. Because we're trying to like strategize. What did I do wrong? Well, I got to learn from my mistakes. I got to that's a lot of smoke and mirrors and noise. And sometimes one of those things, through one of those things, a divine inspiration will pop in. You'll follow that and you'll think all of that deliberating was worth your time. And it wasn't. It wasn't. So if that's your way of doing it, you stick with it, friends. But the easier and flowier way is to say, I know it's out there. I know the universe has already like manifested that for me, and I'm getting in alignment with how to receive. And then I'm open to pops of inspiration about anything I need to do to like increase that alignment. And then in the meantime, if thinking about this topic is not bringing me joy, what can I think about instead? Right? Let it be there. Because as soon as we're trying to fix, it's like there's a scab and it's just trying to heal, but maybe it itches a little bit, because it's not all the way there. So what do? We pick at it. Okay. And I will tell you, as someone who sometimes does that, I'm sorry for the image, friends. It does not take you quicker to like where you want to go, right? It slows down the healing process. And so if it itches, you can soothe yourself in other ways, but picking at it, even though that feels like it's productive, it's really not.
Yeah.
Right. But the guides say, if you have the itch, ask for salve to, ask for the, and the universe will do that. Soothe yourself, but don't feel that picking at that scab is going to solve the problem and get you where you want to go. Sometimes we just have to put it down.
Yeah, and it's so perfect because, like I said, I've been consciously, actively over the last few weeks as I've been kind of receiving this message over the last couple of months. And so I've been evolving into this. And so I finally have come to a place of peace and surrender, like for real, instead of just the words. And I have been feeling a lot better, a lot more balanced, a lot of clarity, and I have been making amazing strides forward in this new direction. So
yeah,
I know I can tell I'm at least on the right track. And when I do finally start to get in there, like, oh my God, I need to do this or I need to do that, the recovery time's a little quicker. So I'm getting better at that as well. So it's nice.
And the parting words from your guides is feed your soul. Do the things that feed your soul. This is all an exercise in love. Yeah. Okay. And they say labor of love, but a labor of love, we think about like, we've both labored of love, right? We've both birthed children, and I don't know about your experience, but I love my kids dearly, but the birthing of them was not the highlight of joy of my life. No. 48 hours of labor with number 2, like, big head.
Yeah.
But love him to death. Sorry, friend. He's had that lorded over him for most of his life. So, but anywho, but they don't mean that. They don't mean it has to be hard. The only reason you think labor is hard is because you were told it was hard and you believed it, so you experienced it, right? But we're letting all of that go, right? This is just let do the things that feed your soul, do the things that excite you, do the things that are fun. They say Victoria loves her business. She doesn't really like doing her taxes, right? They have to be done. So I make it as easy for myself as possible. I get as much help as possible. But at the end of the day, I do actually, I do that. I do the stuff I don't like to do as well, because that's just part of life. But we want to minimize those things. And for you, sometimes there's a feeling like if you're not just a little bit miserable, if you're not hustling, if you're not working hard enough, you're not earning your keep. You're not a good girl. And that's the part that they would like you to let go. They say you've done enough, and that, everything that you do now should be an expression of joy. Okay. And that the money will come, everything will come. And, even if you're picking like side gigs, and again, I really get like intuitive readings would be great for you. But even if you're picking side gigs, like pick the ones that you want to do. And don't freak out like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like it would be good for you. Say you're doing Instacart or something, right? To always stop like one less than you think you need, right? I've done 3 today. I have enough in my tank to do a 4th. Don't do the 4th. Go home early. If you start to do that, you're going to see like, oh, I only needed 3, and it's going to recalibrate you. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
And it's just like each time you do that, you're going to just be showing a little bit of trust in the universe. and a little bit of trust in yourself and a little bit of trust in the flow, and you'll undo this, or, right over this energy of that scarcity. I better do everything. I have to do every last drop that I have in me in order to save. It's just too much.
Yeah,
So
Lord,
if
yeah.
you always just stop a little short of what you think you're supposed to do, it's going to be great. And you're going to be so happy to like, oh, I'm only going to do 3 today. I'm going home now. And after a while of like the fear of like, I missed a 4th, you're going to see that everything's going to flow just fine.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
that make
I love
sense?
that. Yeah, totally.
All right,
Totally.
my friend. Any other parting words before we wrap this one up?
No, I just want to thank you for the confirmation. And like I said, I am working on some new stuff, but we'll talk again later when I have everything a little bit more concrete. But confirmed for me that I'm on the right track, and for me to just keep leaning into ease and work on being more open to receive, because that's really been a challenge.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think your story and, this is going to be a benefit to so many people, which I know living your light is something that's so powerful and important for you to do. So thank you for sharing with everyone today, because I know this is going to resonate with so many people. And this woman is on such a powerful growth journey, and she brings so much heart and love and awareness to the table. And again, you can just feel that loving motherly energy coming out of her right now. And I can see her drinking some of it back in for herself, which is beautiful. And she also you still have your big YouTube channel?
Yes, I do actually still do readings. I'm restructuring it though to the tarot neuro alchemy method. That's actually the new direction that I'm moving in, because I actually am a NLP practitioner. So it's going to turn the readings per se more into spiritual realignment sessions. So we'll be using cards, and
Beautiful.
then we'll be actually flipping into the actual NLP techniques, so that we can
Beautifulness. So you can
bring up the
find,
crap and reprogram.
so we'll have all of that goodness and all of the beautiful offerings that Meeka has will be in the show notes for you if you guys are curious about that too. And Meeka, thank you so much for sharing and letting me do what I love to do. And listeners, thank you guys all for tuning in. And it's always my joy and my honor to be a part of your journey in any way that I can. And, I also give intuitive readings to people all over the world. So if that is something that you would like to do and like to hear what your guides would have to say, you can find out all sorts of information about how to do that on my website, which is victoriashawintuitive.com. And so I look forward to hearing from you all there. I look forward to hearing from you all here, and just keep following along. Grateful to each and every one of you, and namaste.